Hello to my Saggies. Hello to my Sagittarius. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Happy full moon. Happy full blood moon in Pisces. And then also happy total lunar eclipse. Total lunar eclipses are, we're in eclipse season. So solar and lunar eclipse season. But it's a total lunar eclipse. So happy lunar eclipse. Happy full blood moon, right? So lunar eclipses has slightly different alignment to solar eclipses, and it happens during the full moon. So as the earth moves between the sun and the moon, it cuts the energy. So you'll be cutting some energies off. Childhood, ancestral, or family traumas could come up during this time, and you're going to be making some decisions to cut some energies off, right? The information is going to come to you, and you're going to take action, meaning that somebody burned a bridge. That's what, as far as you're concerned, that was enough. That's all you need to know. Somebody burned a bridge, and you're done. You're done. And something is going to cut real deep. It's sore. You know, it's like hits you like a blowtorch. Something is going to hit you because you're a fire sign, and a lot of people are. This is how source is balancing some things out. You're a fire sign, and people see you as you are the ninth house, which is the house of quest and adventure, teaching and higher education, adventure, travel, long journeys, philosophy, religion, and belief, quest for meaning. But something about bullying energies for you just doesn't sit well in your spirit, especially if you're a high vibrating Sagittarius that like to inspire people, who like to have warm conversations with energies, or whatever the case may be. Something about bullying spirits just don't sit well with you, right? And in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And so, however, whatever your definition is of bullying energies, if something just doesn't sit well, something just does not sit well, with you. And whether you feel like something it's been long overdue to cut some things off, or whatever the reason is, sometimes it's just best to close out cycles in love. That's period, right? My health is a priority, and my body is my temple. That's mental and physical health, okay? Not just physical, mental and physical health. Right, so you're protecting your mental and your physical health. And so sometimes it's just time to finally let go of some things. It's finally just time to just let go of some things having to do with family, ancestral trauma, things that's traumatizing, that's been traumatizing you for a long time. You don't need to be in anybody else's business. This is where you're talking about your own family, ancestral traumas that has affected your health and your body, your mental and your physical health, that you are now saying goodbye to, because something is like put a blowtorch up under you, meaning got you mad enough to finally say, okay, I need to go ahead and just leave this bridge burn for life. Okay. All right, let's see what the current energy is. And let's start out with some tips for you all first and foremost. Okay. First, usually during full moons, people put out gemstones and crystals. Do not do that this blood moon. Don't do that this blood moon, because you're trying to cut ties with something or leave some bridges burning. You're not trying to reconnect. Source is trying to teach everybody a lesson that, okay, when source balances as something out and gives you a gift and removes energies from your life, don't you go back, because you're free will, and reconnect with energies that source has removed from your life. Source has removed some energies from your life. So some people don't get a message until you realize you've been burned that deep, like something just got you flaming hot mad, like you about to go off and snap. If you get to that point and it's about to jeopardize your freedom, so say it's time to go ahead and release it. Time to go ahead and release it. Okay, I'm trying to keep everybody in love and light on my channel, and sometimes having to cut off blood relatives. When you're under the pressure of people saying, well, everybody's family, a lot of people under that spell, family over everything, but some people just be crossing lines, okay? And so, all right, here's some tips for you all. You can write them down if you like. You can write down some tips for you all. Sagittarius, if you like this, like I said, I'm just going to give you just 4 tips. So first one is to reflect on what home means to you now. So beyond physical space, what does home mean? Your physical body is your home, right? So that'll be like somebody gave you something and you just like, okay, what? Or if somebody, you found out somebody, had access to your mental health records and put some kind of information on your mental health records that you're mentally unstable, or that you were suffering from dementia, or that they forged some kind of documents or something about you. Not to say that that's happening, but if that's what it's going to take for somebody to finally say, okay, enough is enough. Something is going to get somebody mad enough to finally say, okay, I need to take some kind of action at this point. For a second thing is create or reinforce a foundation that supports your growth, right? Third bullet point is allow emotional release. Old baggage is ready to be let go. It's ready to be let go. So you're not holding on to something that's ready to be let go now, okay? And the last but not least is restore balance between career demands and personal life. Personal life. And in terms of your career, y'all know what it feels like when you are in a job where you're around people who hate their job and that's all they do. It's almost like cancerous in the workplace. It's just, it's like this Debbie Downer, David Downer. You're like, oh my God, okay, I got to work with this person. They hate the job, but they want to go look for another job. Like, what the heck? Right? So I'm tapping into your energy to bring you back up to a higher frequency. So let's get it. Let's go. All right. All right. So you can finally let go of some things. So unless you're talking to people directly to get to the bottom of something, but you're not falling for something anymore. Somebody was saying they were joking about something. Find out what your sign is in your 5th house. Somebody said that you were baited into something, right? But now somebody's saying they were joking about something. So let's just go ahead and squash this. Let's go ahead and put this to bed. But something is not funny to you anymore. You're done. Somebody burned you literally for the last time. Find out what your zodiac sign is in your, Yep. You've had some people's backs. They stabbed you in the back. Source is saying, as far as you're concerned, you're done. You're done. So whether it was a long time coming or whatever the case may be, you got your side of the story. They got their side of the story. There's 2 sides of the sword. It don't even really matter. Source is saying, hey, you're not doing yourself an injustice anymore, period. Looking at your cards here, the reason why you're finally putting a fire out, you're finally saying, okay, I'm done with something altogether. I'm done with something altogether, is because you may have felt like somebody lied to you about something, right? You could have felt like somebody lied to you about something. They didn't tell you something that they were aware of, and something is coming out. Yeah, like somebody was being bullied and somebody had to enlighten you about something. See all these candles here? Somebody had to finally enlighten you about something. It's almost like asking your grandkids. If you're a grandparent, a lot of my demographic, like the ages of people who tap in, are like over 18, but I have a lot of, like in terms of the gender, majority of women and within a certain age range. So you could be parents or of a certain age, maybe your grandparents' age, or that kind of thing. Whatever, you could have grandkids. That's what I was trying to say. You could have kids or grandkids, or you could be mentors, or you could be educators. Nevertheless, you have people younger than you are, but somebody could have been bullied behind your back, and every time you ask them, they wouldn't tell you, right? Somebody could have been scared to tell you something, right? But it was somebody that you had conversations with, that y'all are apart from each other. Like y'all maybe no longer talk to each other or whatever. We're talking about Libra, this Libra card right here, where you had to go it alone now, right? And this is why I always tell people, when you're having warm conversations with people, don't be, impulsive. That would be the other dark side of the polarity to the Justice card, and just, okay, I ain't talking to that person no more. I'm done with them, right? I'm just done with them altogether, because you don't know how much people have in common. That's what Source is trying to tell you. Somebody was being bullied, and so when you're having warm conversations with people and people are using words like, okay, people are talking about something behind somebody's back, and this is all this people trying to have, like, get to the bottom of something. Like somebody was trying to get to the bottom of something. Because usually with the solar plexus, that's significance. Like somebody wanted to be two people wanted to be significant in somebody's life, in your family, but it happens in every family, okay? But two people want to be significant in the life of somebody in your family, but the way they were doing it was by talking about you behind your back. It's almost like somebody saying, how Sagittarius doing? Y'all know the stuff that people do. It's like your family asks, so how's Sagittarius doing? But they won't call you directly Sagittarius. How's Sagittarius doing? Why can't they just call you? They had an issue with you since y'all were teenagers, right? That's when you first started realizing, okay, this energy, they see you as opposition. Like you had their back, but they see you as opposition. And so they couldn't wait for an opportunity to stab you in the back. So Source is saying to you, now you being enlightened, you praying for people, you doing this and that and so on and so forth. That is why it's important to get to the root of something. That's what Source is saying. Stuff travels through the air all the time. People gossiping all the time. You don't know how deep something goes. And now somebody is finding out. So now the conversation is over, right? A decision has been made. A decision has been made. You have a partnership in business and or in love trying to come across your path here. There's no more talking at this point. No more talking. Because there was too much conversation going on at first behind, like about who is being baited into stuff and, somebody, all this secret stuff going on. Like people were saying, and that's what the moon brings out. The moon brings out secrets. Like that moon, that big rock in the sky that's illuminated by the sun, that brings out secrets, through your dreams, through your daydreams, night dreams, through your feelings, through your intuition. That's what the moon does. That's how powerful the moon is. So in some energies you won't be reconnecting with anymore because you won't be talking to them anymore. Because they knew something was going on while people were being kept apart and didn't say a word to you about something, didn't say anything. And it's somebody you could have worshiped with, somebody you could have gone to church with, you could have visited their church or mosque or temple or something. They knew something, somebody was baited into something, somebody in your family, and didn't say one word to you about anything, acting like nothing was going on. Because they felt like something was their way or the highway. You are so done. You are so done. This could be an Aries involved in something. A Virgo could be involved in something. Or somebody having to do with your 6th house. I know what your zodiac sign is in your 6th house, your 4th house, and also your 7th house. And also your 5th house. Because you're finally deciding, okay, you're done. You're done. Your health is a priority and your body is your temple. Because all this stuff is going on. And people just clapping and cheering, because this is showing you what people are motivated by. People are motivated by something totally different than you are. You like structure and authority, and whoever you are, it's their way or the highway. It's almost like somebody lied to you right in your face and went right on back to, worshiping with you like nothing ever happened. Okay, they got what they wanted, so you'll never know. You'll never find out. You're just going along with the flow. So, yeah, somebody was telling you that people were talking about you behind your back. You were just too easily distracted, just going along with the flow. So now something is closed out. Something is closed out. Find out what your North Node is. It does not matter what your age is. I would not recommend anybody quit their job. You got some good news trying to come in. You're trying to expand your horizons here. And now that something is closed out, your sign already rules 9th house. This is where somebody is really stepping up to 2025. You don't care if you're 90 years old, you're still breathing, you have a purpose on planet Earth. If you're 20 years old, don't matter, 18, and you work in a career right now, it's never too soon or too late to find out why you are here on planet Earth. That's your 10th house, the house of career and vocation. What is your inner calling? What were you called to do on planet Earth? Yeah, because sometimes it's going to feel like People are talking about you behind your back, like they saying, oh, they just smoking mirrors. They don't know what they doing. They lying about something. They talking about people behind their back. This is what a lot of people have in common when they answer the call on their lives, because they think, okay, the bigger the crowd of people that's saying it, everybody can't be lying about something. Source is saying to you, yes, they can be, depending on what pack they running with. Like I said back in January, we had a wolf moon in Cancer. Some people don't feel nurtured in certain spaces. And if a person says they don't feel safe around you or they don't feel nurtured, yeah, initially you may jump to conclusions to get offended. But that's when you go inward and say, okay, what is it about me that people don't feel safe being around me? Is it something that I need to look within? Is something I need to journal about? Is somebody's health, is somebody trying to tell me something I'm not hearing something? Like, what is going on? What am I not hearing? Do I need to read between the lines? Because something is over now. Something is over. A decision has been made. Yep, so Ace of Pentacles here. You have something of physical existence coming across your path. So you could have somebody coming to your home, meaning that somebody that you prayed to come live with you could be coming home to you finally because a decision has been made. But it's also something that you have in common with somebody else. That could be a friend or a family member. So let's say, for instance, you and a friend stop talking for whatever reason, right? You could have worked with this person. Y'all could have lived together. Y'all could have been roommates at one point in time. They could have lived with you. You could have lived with them, but y'all stopped talking. The cord was cut. The line was cut. Cord cutting ceremony, right? But a spirit was determined to get some information to you. If it wasn't going to be through them, by any means necessary, a decision was going to be made about something. So say, I'm going to get some information to you, whether you want to get the information, because you prayed about something. Your prayers have been answered in the spiritual sense. Now you're going to see it in the physical sense. Now you're going to see something in the physical sense, right? You want to get to the bottom of something? Yeah, you're going to see something in the physical sense. Or you receive something in the physical sense. So you're going to be celebrating something. So somebody could have big money coming across their path that you prayed for, but somebody's just too easily distracted. And so it's saying this is kind of sort of part of Source needs somebody. This is where balance comes in, Sagittarius. You're a fire sign, but this is where Source is saying, if you want to live a softer life, somebody's going to have to put out that fire, like really learn how to kind of calm that fire down. You know, when things get you, like trying to bait you into something and, you know, trying to get you in this argumentative state. Source saying, nah, you're going to have to say, no. I'm trying to expand. I don't care who's talking about me behind my back. I'm waiting on something coming across my path. I prayed about something, and that's where, you know, I can't speak for every light worker, but that's kind of where I come in. It's just like, you know, I go and if I channel energy and I pick up on somebody who's in a low place, try to pull you back to a higher frequency. That's it. I have no control. I'm not anybody's God, none of that. So it's just, okay, I'm just channeling energy. But something, you have finally put a flame out. You have finally said, okay, enough is enough. It's all fun and games at first, but it's not fun anymore. Something is not funny anymore. Yeah. Because now, you know, somebody is almost like somebody is like slaughtered like a lamb. Like somebody was putting a lamb into a lion's den. Somebody decided to put a lamb into a lion's den and tell them, fend for yourself. Behind your back. Yeah. So yeah, a decision has been made about two energies, to put some energies into a lion's den behind your back, and you're just done at this point. You are so freaking done. And this is, like I said, friend or family. Yeah. So yeah, somebody was thinking that you had a feeling about something. Somebody's moon sign could be in Taurus. You had a feeling about something when somebody kept using the word bullying, somebody that you don't talk to anymore. And I know that because of the Justice card. Justice card was like, I had somebody's back, but they stabbed me in the back. It's like somebody just jumped to conclusions. Like somebody was stabbing. So many people had the same thing in common. Like and I would always say this to people, if you're going to look at readings, don't assume, especially if it's somebody that you know, or if you follow like loved ones and stuff online, You almost have to be tough skinned because everybody is not talking about family and friends online. When you got so many, you only got 12 zodiac signs, unless you count Ophiuchus, that's 13. I guarantee you, if you're a Sagittarius or wherever Sagittarius is in your birth chart, your family members know more than one Sagittarius. I always say, when you want to get to the bottom of something, then you talk directly to people. If you got a feeling about something, talk directly to people. But somebody put a lamb into almost like put a lamb into a lion's den, expect for them to survive a situation. And somebody kept saying the word bully, kept saying bully, bully, bully. This person's being bullied. They being bullied. Almost like somebody was saying, help, like, help me, help, like, So somebody is now like really slowing down. Somebody is now slowing down because sometimes it can sound like people are being disrespectful when they get frustrated, when they start getting passionate about it. Because remember, Leo's rule 5th house, and this number 5 right here, Leo's rule 5th house. Gemini, which is the house of communication. And this is why I know it's somebody that you don't talk to anymore, because it's a house of communication. And so this fire is now turned upside down. You're like, I'm not talking about them behind my back because they talk about other people behind their back or whatever. Aligning with energies who have a bullying spirit, who have, like I said, vain, vengeful, green with envy spirit, right? So source is saying, but that was the whole goal, is for you to stop talking to somebody you had a lot of stuff in common with. Because if we can separate Sagittarius and somebody else, then if we can separate Sagittarius and somebody else, and we can, you know, we create some kind of divide here, we can pull out a temper in somebody, right? Remember, you all are the temperance card, right? We can pull out a temperance. We can see if this person has a temper, so we can make a decision about some things, right? So here we have the 10 of Cups here, right? So source is trying to help somebody see that right here, it's a group of people that saw something. It's a group of people that saw something. Like, so source is saying you have inner happiness, family reunions, total love and support, fulfillment, dreams come true. This could be your story. You could be a person who is like, oh yeah, I mean, I get along with everybody, you know, I hang out, I'm a social butterfly, this kind of thing. But somebody was literally trying to bring out the worst in somebody. And they were not going to stop. They're going to separate people to see who they can bring out the temper in somebody. So when I tell you all how valuable you all are to, like, every zodiac sign is valuable, but you also got to know what your purpose is. What is your purpose? You know, I feel like if people start practicing, what is the purpose of this? What is the purpose that this person came into my life? What is the purpose that I broke up with this person? What was the purpose of the job that I had? Like, really developing that spiritual life. What was the purpose of that job? You know, source, I know you wouldn't bring me all the way to this job just to kind of sort of leave me here in this lion's den with these people that I work with. They just attacking me. Like, what is this? What's the purpose of all of this? Because it's a purpose. It's a method into the madness. Once you leave that job, part of it is once you learn your purpose, you answer the call in your life, and then source will show you can use everything, every challenge, good highs and lows you went through on that job or in those relationships in your purpose. You were already operating in your purpose. And source is saying source already qualified you. Unlike human that says you need this degree, you need this certification. Source is like, no, you were qualified coming out the womb for your purpose. I create this purpose especially specifically for you, right? So it's something that you were supposed to do, like, you know, having people feel like had this inner happiness, or feel like a family reunion, maybe put together family reunions or bring people together or something like that, especially people who easily baited into stuff and were being bullied. And while they have people's hearts, they have a big heart, but they're around vain and vengeful and green with envy spirits, family members, friends, whatever. So it's like, you know, anyway, so like I said, your health is your priority, your body. So something was being done in secret. Something was being done in secret, and a psychic pulled it out. I know what people who, you know, joking about Miss Cleo back in the day, call me now. You know, we don't believe in that kind. That's demonic. That's evil. But psychic gifts is the clarity. You have clarity, like, you know, when you say stuff like, I feel like it's going to rain, or it smells like rain, like our elders would say, okay, it smells like rain. The forecaster could have said, oh no, it's going to be a clear and sunny day today, but you like, nah, my joints are starting to hurt. That is your body telling you secretly. They don't care what you see on TV. Your body telling you something, okay? That's clarity. You have clarity on some things. It's like almost like, it's like you've been through something for too long that you know that, hey, your body is not lying to you about something. Another thing is just knowing things or smelling things. That's a clear. You have clear smell when it comes to things. You know, somebody tells you if somebody's ever been cheated on, right? You see this on like television shows or something like that, unless you've been personally cheated on. I mean, I don't know, but you know if somebody has a certain scent to them, if they smell like lavender scent, and then all of a sudden they smell like like sandalwood, right? You're like, okay, where is this person? Because usually they have a certain scent to them, but now they smell different. They smell like sandalwood, but they usually smell like, okay, so who you been around, right? You know, that kind of thing, right? Or your sixth sense, or deja vu, or premonition, or precognition, right? And so that's the whole purpose of journaling. But somebody really wanted to break you and somebody up just so that they could bring the worst out of somebody and justify their, putting them in a situation where they are a lamb amongst apex predators. That's what a lion is. King of Pentacles. You have enough information. You have enough information. That is the reason why some people are loners. And when people are like, oh, they don't have no friends, that's the reason why people keep to themselves, because they have been set up themselves. They don't want to be bothered with nobody. No, none of that stuff. That's why some people cut people off. They don't go around certain family members or friends. That is the reason why, because they have been baited into too many situations, conversations, lied on, whole 9 yards. Here's the King of Swords here. So, yeah, somebody is a very powerful leader. They have enough information at this point about something from the past for you to say, okay, you can choose who to believe and who not to believe at this point. Ten of Swords. Somebody was hoping that you would meet this is what you have in common. This is what a lot of people have in common with loved ones. Hoping that you be so depressed because you can't come back around this group of people that you would meet you'd be so depressed, you meet some kind of complete and painful ending, rock bottom, failure, collapse, defeat behind closed doors. But some people are loners. They're so used to wolf energy is wolves travel in packs, and I'm speaking of duality here, and wolves travel in packs. And so people catch wind that some people they're not forthright with the information, and they leave. They like, okay, somebody keeping a secret from them, and they coming out asking, do you know so-and-so? Do you know such and such? Are you here? Are you there? Are you connected to? And people, no. They either you go into prayer, or you just say, some people just cut people off. Personally, I like to go into prayer. That's prayer. God, give me the answers, because I'm not getting some answers as far as family or friends are concerned. I'm going straight to God. I'm journaling about it. Okay, so show me. I'm not seeing. Can you show me in the physical? Almost like a person who is not afraid to raise their hand in class and ask until they understand, because they realize there's no such thing as a stupid question. Even if everybody's sitting around laughing and making fun. This person, they don't know this. They should know this by now. Why? Why should you know certain things? Five of Wands. Now people are talking. Now our mouths are swung wide open talking about something happened behind closed doors when there's been conversations been going on the whole freaking time. Now everybody's in an uproar talking. Because now people are saying these three played, whoever these three energies are, played a whole bunch of people. Whole bunch of smoke and mirrors. All these intelligent people sitting around being lied to. So Source is saying to you you know, you were put in a very unique position, whoever you are. It doesn't really matter what your age is or your educational background. It doesn't really matter. I'm talking to all Sagittarius around the world. You can be 18 years old, just now really kind of coming out of high school and really trying to get your feet wet in college and trying to decide which degree you want to pursue, if you want to pursue a degree. Or you can be letters before or after your name. It doesn't really matter. We're in year 2025, and this is year 9, right? And so a lot of people are expanding their knowledge and their wisdom, but they're doing it amongst groups that are not looking down on people who don't know certain things. Somebody was determined to put a lamb in with a group of predators. They were determined to do that. Determined. And that's what you have in common with an Aquarius. They did it behind your back. They were determined to do it. And the motive is money. The motive is money. There's no other motive. It's just money. That's why you got the King of Pentacles out here. The motive is money. That's it. Somebody is a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's all it was money. Big money. Let's put this person with it along and see how they survive. If they don't survive, then hey, we're going to get paid one way or the other. So it's time for somebody to really wake up and recognize how powerful Sagittarius is and speaking up and stop going along with the flow. But you breaking somebody broke your trust. Somebody broke your trust again. Okay, they broke your trust again. So somebody, somebody did not want to believe that somebody's a succubus energy. Who is this? Yeah, this is a fire sign. It's a fire. It could be their sun or moon sign. Is a fire sign. Somebody did not want to believe that somebody has a sex demon attached to them, and so it's time for you to start dating again. You have the gift of deja vu. You're remembering the future. It's almost like somebody couldn't remember. Almost like, you know how this would be like a person that you let into your house and they cheat on the person that you're dating, because you got new and exuberant love coming into your path, right? But this is like you let somebody into your house and they cheat on the person, like you got a male friend or whatever, or whether you're a man or woman, it doesn't really matter, and you let them stay with you, and you find out they just been having a good old time with your significant other. You thinking it's a new and exuberant love, and they just having a because they're a succubus. So that's where deja vu comes in at. Somebody was like, okay, oh, this person, this is family. They wouldn't do this to me. But something was going on behind your back that you had in common with somebody, and Source was kept trying to put this puzzle together for you. But it's like, okay, this person right here, it's almost like somebody told you what was going on in their lives, and somebody couldn't see. And I kept saying in my readings, this is somebody going through a parallel universe. Something is happening. It's almost like I was saying I was saying in my readings that somebody is going in a parallel universe. You are going through something exactly that somebody else either went through or they're going through. Y'all going through the same thing. Like y'all, it was meant for you to connect or reconnect with somebody, but somebody did not want to believe that somebody was a succubus spirit. Here we have Angel Raphael, the healer and traveler, the healer and protector of travelers is with you. So Angel Gabrielle is with you, the messenger of God. So this is Angel Raphael. Angel Gabrielle is with you, because things are starting to flow to you like water now. So your heart chakra, you're starting to make the connection. Somebody is starting to make the connection. It was somebody that you either dated, or because you're getting ready to start, somebody's about to start dating again. I mean, whoever you are, or unless you have your person, you're getting some good news coming on, or somebody's coming home to you or something. But somebody, it's like somebody was trying to connect, somebody that you have a lot in common with was trying to make some kind of connection with you, trying to find out some information or something, make some kind of connection of what was going on behind their back. Here we have time to ground yourself. I see you being booked and busy, not burdened and bitter, right? You have the gift of clairaudience. This is clear hearing. Yeah, so pray for them. Pray for them. Yep. Speak something into existence. Step through the portal. Step through the portal. You have a whole new attitude. Somebody has a whole new attitude now. Somebody's like, oh my God, I had no idea all this mess, craziness was going on. But again, happy full moon, happy full blood moon, and happy total lunar eclipse. Yeah. I feel like somebody tried to give people the benefit of the doubt, you know, in terms of family relationships, but somebody is getting ready. Somebody is wide awake now. Because something is happening. It's like you and somebody was going through the same thing. And it's somebody that you no longer talk to. Y'all could have either gone to school together. Y'all could have been roommates in college together. Y'all could have lived together in some way. They either live with you, you live with them. And they don't always have to be blood, but they could be like blood relatives, right? But something was going on behind your back and somebody else's back. But this time, you've been burned for the last time. You are done. Just dig deeper than somebody talking about you behind your back. You're seeing something in the physical. Something in the physical. How people were getting money, how they were making money. How people were getting rich. You're seeing something in the physical. All this rejoicing and celebrating going on. Nobody even asked where the money was coming from. Who nobody talked to anybody to find out where the money was coming from. Because somebody felt like something was their way or the highway. I don't even want to say what's really coming to me in this reading here, because when I'm doing readings and I'm picking up on energy, I'm channeling energy, I'm channeling whoever's tapped into this. So I'm not afraid to go down to the lowest of low and then bring people up to a high frequency. So everything is not going to resonate with everybody. But Source is saying you're really careful now of what family members you bring into your own home, even if they are your adult kids, bringing their friends into your home. Those are spirits coming into your home. You don't know what kind of spirits people are bringing into your household. People gone are those days that people are saying, oh, flatware came up missing, or some money came up missing off my dresser, or I don't trust them around my girlfriend or boyfriend, and they haven't done anything. Now somebody is starting to see, okay, I need to, you know, start journaling. I had a nightmare about something. I don't want to believe something, but let me journal about it and ask Source, okay, I don't want to believe this, so show me what I'm not seeing here. Show me what I'm not seeing. Intuition. Yeah. Each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. How liberating to listen inside, not outside of yourself, but inside, and sense moment to moment what's needed. I'm telling you, journal can be your best friend for real. You sit down there journaling all your ideas and your automatic writing. You're saying, okay, I'm keeping everything high vibrational. Don't want to seem like I'm being negative, you know. But I'm answering. I know I have it's a purpose for all of this. Like, what is the purpose of all of this? Sometimes you got to keep asking the creator or source or higher power, you know, it's almost like you're just nagging Source, you know, to a point like, why can't I get certain things off my mind? Like, what, you don't want to seem like you're obsessed, you know, with something, but it's like, how come you can't, certain things just won't leave you? It's like something is not right. And so somebody now learning the power of journaling. It's like, okay, I need to sit down and start journaling. I need to write some stuff out. And when I want some answers, I'm not going to just, you know, go with what's outside of me, what people are telling me stuff. I'm going to go within. I'm going to talk to the source. The answers I need are within me. Here we have 222. So, yeah, three energies have been disrupting your peace right in your face, and somebody couldn't see it. So trust falls. So your angels ask you to trust your place in life right now. You are in the place You're in the right place at the right time. It's time to take a look around and enjoy the moment. Everything is where it's supposed to be. Think of one thing you need to let go of so that you can enjoy the moment. So give that thing gratitude and then send it off into the universe. Picture it evaporating into thin air. It's no longer something you need to concern yourself with. Yeah. Somebody is now realizing that, you know, talking to energies, it was almost like, okay, my peace feels I feel like I'm, you know, it's almost like, you know, you talk to certain energies, you always feel like, okay, I think you and somebody has something in common that, like, I see, like I said, because as sword, y'all are apart from each other. So y'all, you know, either y'all don't talk together, y'all used to work together or live together or something. But it's certain energies, something about their energy was disrupting your peace. Talking to them was disrupting your peace in a very different way than, you know whose book I read? Okay, I'm going to say this. I'm going to go ahead and close out the reading. What's her name? Jennifer. She's a comedian. Y'all know who I'm talking about. She's written a lot of really, really good books. The actress's name is Jennifer Lewis. She has this book, well, she has quite a few books, but one book in particular, and I can't remember the exact title of the book, is I want to say it's her most recent book. It's really, really good. I had it on my table at one point. It's filled with a lot of, it's funny. She's a comedic actress, but she has such a wide range. She's an excellent actress. I mean, really, she has such a wide range. I believe she can play anybody. I mean, if she wanted, I mean, any role that came across her, path, she could probably play anybody. But she wrote this book when she was talking about how, like, that she was dating this guy at one point in the book. Y'all would have to read the book. And she was talking about how, like, the guy was trying to break her and her longtime friend up, right? And some things didn't sit well with her because she was like, she know that person is not like that, right? So she went on some like investigative stuff, right? She's like, that person, I ain't like that. That's what Source is trying to bring out of somebody, because we got the five of Wands in reverse. Okay, so I had to add a little bit more time here. But yeah, that's what Source is trying to bring out of you all, Sagittarius. Is like, go on this investigative journey. Ask questions. Like, don't just go along with the flow. This is where your moon sign is going to help you. Your moon sign and your 10th house in particular, because your 10th house is your vocation, your inner calling. What is the purpose? Like, not only what is your purpose on planet Earth, because you was called to do something, but what is the purpose of something? Like, what is the purpose? What is the purpose that people are trying to keep me and somebody apart? But in the book, in Jennifer Lewis's book, and again, it's her latest book, so you'd have to look it up. I got the book on the bookshelf somewhere. But in her latest book, she was talking about how she was dating this guy. He seemed like the perfect guy in her life, and how people were trying to separate them, right? Like, I mean, he came into her life trying to separate her from her best friend, like her long-time best friend. And she was confused. And, he basically lied and said that the long-term best friend hit on him and all of this other stuff. And so people know how delicate women relationships are, right? And so she was just like, I know that's not my friend, would never do that to me, right? Not her being naive, but basically like, okay, if I want to know, I'm gonna go directly to my friend and ask, did you hit on my friend? Like, did you hit on this guy? He seems to be she eventually did ask the friend told her, absolutely not. If anything, it was the other way around, and I rejected his advances or whatever the case may be. But my point to you is that Source is saying, this is where when you're talking to people, you got to trust Source. You got to go in. You gotta go in, because somebody has faith in everything else. Somebody has faith in the job that they're doing. You got faith in your money coming across your path. Some people have degrees. Somebody got faith in this, faith in that. Somebody rejoicing and celebrating all this good news coming through. But where was the money coming from? How was people getting rich behind two people's backs? This is what you have in common with somebody. How are people getting rich off of people? I feel like I'm rich in knowledge, but not my bank account don't say that yet. It'll say that. I'm speaking it into existence. But y'all know what I'm saying. The point is that people are not being direct with people enough to say, okay, well, wait a minute, how are you making money? Because I'm hearing such and such. Just one-on-one, where people they feel like it's a safe space to talk, where they don't feel like it's going to go somewhere else. But when a person feels like, a person is like, okay, they don't believe you, they being sarcastic, you telling them something and they just like, and they being, however, it's two sides of the sword. Your intuition kept trying to tell you something. Like, my heart is telling me something. It's like my head and my heart are at war with each other. That's you trying to make a connection. And so now Source is like, you're going to have full information. You won't have to make a connection anymore. You're gonna have full information. So, because there was too much celebrating going on. Some people was getting rich off of something. Nobody was asking where the money was coming from. Not one person was asking anybody outside of a group of people, where was the money coming from? Where was all the, how people getting rich? How people making all this money? What's happening here? Your intuition was telling you somebody's lying to you about something. You didn't know who was lying, but that's when you go directly to people directly. I don't care if it looks like they talking about me behind my back. I'm asking them directly. Okay. That's how you're approaching in love. I love you. I'm hearing that you're talking about me behind my back. You'll be able to defend your decision to move on from something without even coming across as defensive. Because somebody was in a very poisonous and toxic environment where their demons were being exploited. A young person. And somebody just wanted to send a message. Somebody wanted to send a message. Somebody wanted to send a message that you were so on your high horse. They were doing something to put somebody in a dangerous position. Could have been drinking. This would have let their demons come out. Let's see which demon. Let's flip over this bowl. Let's see if this is their demon. Let's see if that's their demon. See if sex is their demon. You got to remember 7 of Cups connects us with Scorpio. If you're learning how to read cards, we're not talking about a Scorpio, just so we're crystal clear. But some people, like I said, we only have 12 zodiac signs, right? So as a reader, I don't know about how other readers, read their cards, but I will specifically say it doesn't necessarily mean it's a Scorpio. Everybody could have Scorpio in their birth chart. Scorpio just happens to rule 8th house, right? But something has come to an end around something having to do with sex and something having to do with money. Okay? And this is a youthful energy, somebody that's younger than you. And you can defend your decision to move on without coming across as defensive. You're just like, okay, you're just done. You are just done. It's almost like somebody had to blow towards somebody hard enough to finally say, okay, oh my God. Now somebody is talking about why people are celebrating. Because somebody didn't ask the question, how is everybody celebrating? How is people making money? My first question would be, and y'all, anybody who follow me on Instagram know where I used to work, okay? You follow me on Instagram, that's not a secret, okay? You see my picture on there, you follow me on Instagram, I put it out there, I'm writing a book, not necessarily about the agency, but my first question is, how are people making all this money? That's my first question, how? Because if it's legit, then okay. You want to collaborate? I got some business ideas. Where did you get your grant money from? How do you write a grant if you don't know how to? Some people are afraid to ask questions because they're looked at as almost like you should know certain things by now. Why? Why would you know everything? That's what you ask questions for. That's what I have for you all. Hopefully this is helpful, but yeah, you're done. Allowing. So radical acceptance is yes, and the reality in any given moment to what's needed can come next. Yeah. Somebody was determined to bring out the worst side of somebody, and I don't even know if it's the worst side of somebody. Somebody wanted to prove that somebody was low vibrational, that they talk about people behind their back, or they do stuff behind people's backs, whatever the case may be. But you can look at 7 of Cups is even in work environments where you may have worked, you may have retired because you feel like, okay, hey, you know what? I'm not being nurtured in this environment anymore. People were taking early outs in the government because they feel like, okay, they had risen to the top of their career. There's nothing, you don't feel nurtured here anymore. And people were still calling people snakes. So they should have put together this kind of booklet before they left. They should have done this and such before they left, and still competing and comparing long after you gone. So there's 2 sides of snake. It's a spirit within a snake, right? But that spirit can be it can be hosted in any physical body. And so, but somebody wasn't asking about how people were getting rich. That's what I have for you all. Hopefully this is helpful. I'll see you all in the next video. Again, happy full moon, happy solar eclipse. Total lunar eclipse. And again, do not put your gemstones and crystals out during this blood moon, during this cycle. You can do it next cycle. You can put it out in sunlight, but not in the moonlight. Because you're not trying to reconnect with certain energies, certain, blood relatives anymore. You're not trying to connect with them anymore. It's a wrap. It's a done deal. So that's what I have for you. Bye.